This is my chassis damaged BMW 335D, but that didn't stop us from fixing it. Previously, we bought this car in the UK and drove it back to Norway. Then, after inspecting it, we found hidden chassis damage, but we didn't back down and fixed it. In Norway, we drive on the right side of the road. That's why we decided to convert the car to left-hand drive. So in previous episodes, we stripped the interior out, replaced multiple parts such as steering rack, relocated the ECU and the ABS pump, and much more. Since we bought this car in the UK, it used to be right-hand drive. And for me living in Norway, that's a no-no. The interior, it looks like this right now. So we fully stripped out all the right-hand drive parts and we started assembling as left-hand drive. So we have the heater core, the pedals, the steering wheel and all the electronics almost all in place. Since we got the engine fired up in the last episode, technically we should be able to assemble the front end because we shouldn't need to do anything more with the front. Well, except for the suspension and the alignment. First thing, we can't assemble the front end yet because when we disassembled it, I broke the gearbox cooler. The lines broke and now I can get another one. I need to wait until tomorrow. And if you put everything together, we can't. It's gonna be hard to put it back. So in the meantime, I wanna check the wiring in the doors. As we know, the driver is supposed to be able to adjust the mirrors and open both the driver's and the passenger's side window. Since this is a UK car, you was able to do that on the other side, driver's side. Now, since the driver's side is this one, we need to change the lumen in the door. And what I don't know is it enough to just change out the wiring loom inside the door and connect it up to the plug here in the car? Or do we actually need to pull new cables to the connector here in the door jamb? So that I couldn't figure out. I couldn't find any answers on the internet. So I already pulled out the wiring loom from the other side, the other door. This is, well, the wiring loom for the driver's door. So the plan is to just remove this wiring loom, put this one in the passenger side now, and put the driver's one in this one. And hopefully it works. Okay. So it's plugged in. Now I just want to plug in the connector to see if... Turn the ignition on. Yes. I mean, it works. Now I'm gonna put in the wiring loom for the passenger side, so in the other door. And I want to see if that window is gonna open when I press the button on this side. Okay, good news. I connected the wiring loom in the other door and everything works. Also, when I adjust the mirror on the right side, passenger side, it turns. The other one, you probably can't see it on camera, but yeah, that works as well. So that's some good news. Okay, now I can reseal. Here I have bought a full Logic 7 audio system for this car because it's based from the factory. And Logic 7 has two speakers in the doors. So one is the little triangle one and then there's one in the door itself. And also here I have the door card that I bought from a left-hand drive car. So we will install this one now. So then the speaker, it sits like that. The way it works is that there's only one cable going to the speaker. Well, two cables twisted together. And since there are two speakers on the door, this one as well, which sits right here just like that. So this one, it just clips into that speaker, and the other cable that goes to the door, it clips into this one. I was gonna put the door jamb on right now, but I remember one thing, we can't do that yet because we have to change the locking unit in here. The reason for that is because the driver's side has a hole for the manual key lock. So it has a hole like this. I bought this thing secondhand in the same color. So we need to replace the entire handle. So it has a lock and the entire lock itself. So this is the other side, and we can see there's no more key slot here, and it works. I also installed the door card with the speakers and everything. So now this is properly a passenger side door now. The door is together, and this is, well, the wrong one. It doesn't fit. I'll get another one. We can see it's working. The mirror working. Next task. Now, this is the amp, and on this car it sits right here in this corner. So with the whole audio system, I got a wiring loom. So all these cables, it's just cables that go to the speakers, except for the power. And there's also this green cable. It's what they call a optic fiber cable, something like that. And it's what delivers the sound from the radio to the amplifier. It's super good quality. So it's not like a normal cable, it's like the special one. I have no idea how it works, but usually you should connect it up into the connection in here. But what I see on the car now, there already is one. So this is already here. So it comes with it from factory, I guess, and then it goes all the way to the front of the radio. I'm just gonna plug it in, that's it. So I'm just pushing the wires through. So now I pull the cables all the way through here. The way the cables actually go, they go through this side corner, and then they go along the floor all the way to the front, past the fuse box and to the passenger door. So now we need to remove these cards here, replace the speakers, pull the cables out of this one. I have a diagram of Logic 7 colors, so I can see which color combination of these cables is supposed to go, let's say, to this speaker, and then which one is up on the shelf. Logic 7 has 13 different speakers, included subwoofers. So 2 in the shelf, 2 in these panels here, so 4, 2 in the doors, so 2 there, and 1 in the dashboard. And of course subwoofer on each side, so that makes it 13. So we just need to pull the cables to each of the speakers, and there's 2 power cables, 1 to the fuse box and 1 to the connector on the driver's side. And that's it. Then we just need coding. Remove the door card. I have these things in the same design as this. I like the wood trim. I know many people don't, but I think it looks pretty good, pretty classy. Technically you could keep these door cards, but we will not, because Logic 7 Harman-Kardon has 2 speakers in these side cards. So 1 big here and then 1 little one beside it. And then we need to cut out hole for it and stuff like that. So I just picked up the entire interior, and I have them in the same color, identical to these ones, just that they have a extra hole here. So we're just gonna use the other ones. Actually right now, since we have to remove the rear shelf, in order to remove shelf, we need to remove these roof side covers. And at that point, we can just pull off the entire headliner, because right now we can see it's bright. I have bought a complete black headliner. Headliner included all the pillars, handles, stuff like that. Everything is gonna be black. I think it looks better. So at this point, as we have everything off, I think we will just pull off all these parts. Then we can do the speakers. And then we can assemble everything. Just like that. I remember all of it from the 335. The bird one. Yo! How do we remove it? Is it through the trunk? Here's the black one. Now we can put the front pillars in the back because the front ones go on after the dash is in, and the rear ones has to come out if you remove the rear shelf. And we need to do that because we need to put 2 speakers there. I already tested all these lights work. The lights in the mirrors, when you open it, it turns on. So only thing is a bit dirty, but it's like mostly surface dirt. So with a wet rag, you just go over it and it's gonna be clean. So now I cleaned up a bit inside the car. I took the loom that was mostly just hanging here and I put it in the correct spot behind. And now I think I want to put the dashboard in. Now just connect the airbag. I realized that we hadn't put in the speaker in the dashboard. Up. Right now I want to see if you can delete the airbag light because now all the airbags should be connected. As well as I want to see how it is with the belt light. If I put the belt on as driver, is it gonna switch off or not? Now I've been messing around with the seats. Since the driver's side moved to this side, automatically the belt is gonna beep if the belt is not on in the driver's side. The passenger side, it has a weight in the seat, so it sees when there's a passenger sitting and only then the belt light is shining and beeping. So now I pulled a cable from the other plug to this side, and now we can see that it says that the seat belt is not latched. So now we plug the driver's side seat belt in now, and we can see that it says the driver's seat belt is inserted. So now everything's correct. Because the driver's side, it doesn't have a weight in the seat, it is always beeping. Well, of course, the car is not gonna drive without a driver. Now I have been doing some less interesting stuff. For example, there was a few connectors broken in the front, like the temperature sensor, some other sensors. Then I also fully set up the wipers. There was some problems, but I did figure it out in the end. So now I want to start assembling the front end. The AC radiator goes on last from outside. First to go on, I think, is the intercooler with the bracket. Before that, I want to put on the coolant reservoir. This one goes onto the gearbox cooler, maybe. There must be two brackets, these rubbers. Actually, wait. This thing sits. Okay, so actually this thing sits like this. I think right now I want to put in the fan, because we're not going to be able to get access to it after we put the radiator in. Okay, this is probably the worst rat bag I have put together. Plastics doesn't align. If you put it all together, then you try to put it on the car, it's no place to put the hoses on, and when you're gonna put the front end on, we're gonna put it in place and then put the two screws that hold it here at the top, and it's gonna be level. Now I think I also have all the coolant hoses already connected, so that is good. It was quite an annoying rat bag to put together, because there's just so little place after to connect all the hoses to the gearbox cooler. So that was quite annoying, but doable. Before we assemble the front end together completely, I want to take care of something here in the front. So we know that the brakes in the rear, they're brand new and they're working flawlessly. However, the front ones, they don't look too bad, but they vibrate under brake load. That means they are warped. Someone braked super hard and the discs overheated and warped. So now they're not even anymore. So we have a package from To Lhd, which consists of Zimmermann pads and Zimmermann discs. They seem to be the correct size. First of all, the caliper bracket, like that. Compress the caliper. This guide pin seems to be kind of stuck. Now I should be able to remove it like that. Then I'm putting a little bit of grease on the lip. And that is it. To Lhd, they have everything. Brakes, filters, suspension, engine parts, you name it, in all quality. Budget or OEM, fast delivery and prices that let you spend more on the fun stuff. If you need any parts for your cars, make sure to use code EMS1025 for 10% off your next order. I replaced the brakes on the other side as well. One more thing I did is I replaced the strut bearing on the other side, because it seems like this side is new and the other side had a broken stud. and a bit of play in the bearing, and also the sway bar link. So now I want to replace the sway bar link on this side as well. Oh, I hate rusty sway bar links. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Now we should be able to put on the front end. Rat pack is sitting where it's supposed to. Slowly starting to look like a car again. The front end is on. I also connected the bonnet latch cable because we put the cable this way, but this cable was going this way. So I just took it out and flipped it. It seemed to be working. Then I also plugged in all of the wires, well, except the fog lights because they're not on. And now I think the last thing to go on is headlight washer system, because we need to have that by law. If you have xenon headlights, you have to have washers as well working, because they were not working when I bought the car. I had to fix it and stuff. I need to test if it's leaking or not, because last time it was leaking. Latch is good and the cable working. Okay, let's see if it works. Do we even have any washer fluid in it? Up. Still some air. Yes, now they work properly. This thing is starting to look like a car again. Finally. The interior too, starting to look like a real car. In the next video, I believe that we are going to be able to finish this car. There's still a lot of things to do, such as swap out the rear subframe. The rear subframe is still okay in this car right now, but when I was driving it, there was some weird kind of, not vibration, but something loose in the back. Like you accelerate and there's a hitting sound in the back. Everything looks okay except for the subframe bushings. They look kind of tired. So at the same time, we're gonna change the whole subframe because the one on the car is kind of rusty. So change the subframe and change the bushings in the new/used subframe. Then we also have to drop the exhaust, the prop shaft, change the prop shaft bearing and guibos, fill the gearbox with oil. Then we're gonna put back the custom exhaust that I got with the car because I had to put on a original one to get it inspected. Then we have to bleed the brakes, which I'm really not looking forward to. Then put, of course, the fender. Then we have a few tuning parts to make this car look good. And we have a nice set of wheels. And of course, the small bits and ends in the interior. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. If you want to support all the builds, check out my Patreon in the description, EMS Garage. And I hope to see you in the next one.